Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Hair Wire, the place where you get hair smart. This is your host, Sergio Cardona, and with me, our co-host, Carrie Jarrett and Bissam Dipsy. How you guys doing, girls?
Great, thank you. We're excited to be back. That's for sure.
Hey, we're back here at the Hair Wire, guys, and today we're very excited. We have so much to think about, so much to discuss. We just came back from training, and we have so much information that we want to share with you guys. I mean, it's amazing. I hope you guys have been enjoying the short videos that I've been putting out from Pisa Tower and some other place in Italy and other stuff. I don't know. What you guys thought about that, by the way?
I thought these are very brilliant, actually. It's brilliant. And it took us a tour in Rome and Italy. I felt like, oh, that's super nice.
We need to get back there.
Oh, I enjoyed all the posts that you did. I was living vicariously through you, Sergio. I kept showing my husband. I'm like, look where he is now. We did look at flights, by the way.
I have thousands of photos that I need to upload about that. We have so much fun over there with the Society of Trichology in Italy. Whew, what amazing experience, guys! I have to say, amazing experience.
Yeah, I mean, Sergio, I am dying to understand and explain to us everything that happened over there. I am dying to know.
I cannot tell the whole thing because, time is short. But let me tell you guys, trichology, as it is, as we know it, is changing. It's changing in front of our eyes and for the good. And what I mean by changing is as we are redefining and finding more information on different illnesses and different scalp and hair conditions, we are able to better pinpoint what's happening on the scalp, what's happening on the hair bulb, what's happening through the hair. And because of that, what we thought of, for instance, cicatricial alopecia, what we thought of androgenetic alopecia, it's been redefined and for the good. And the thing is that the more specific we are, the more we are able to help people who are experiencing different types of hair loss. So that's the main focus right here. It's all about getting the right information in front of us, redefine it correctly through science, through new advancements, new studies, and putting that information together and collaborating, which I found most exciting. I've been using polarized microscopy ever since I started doing trichology, and I've been observing things from a certain perspective, and I've been sharing that perspective with the other scientists over there in Italy, and we were seeing the same thing, but we describe it differently. And getting everything together, it connecting the dots, it's something else. I have to tell you, it's something else. Actually, I find a guy, Dr. Luigi, and he loves Demodex, and we were exchanging videos of Demodex. Those little worms in the scalp. People are gonna be crazy, like, what the hell he's talking about? Demodex, worms in the scalp. What is that? No, guys. Very simply, they're parasites, and for those of us who love doing microscopy, well, we like to record them, and they love to move, and but that's a whole nother thing.
Like Sergio, it's so refreshing when we redefine things in a way, because science is moving forward, and the technology, like the microscopes, technology that we use to study scalps, is moving forward. So I am not surprised in a way that it is getting redefined. It's not like we are understanding more and more things right now, and it is so nice and refreshing indeed to hear what you just shared with us before we started the recording. It's just mind-blowing in a way, and we are so lucky to be living at these times that we can see the changes in front of us. And as you said in your trichology practice, sometimes you do the mainstream treatments for certain kind of alopecias, and when it puzzles you why it doesn't work, and now when you understand why, it's just like, wow, yep, exactly. And I think from now on, we're going to have new answers for all the puzzles we have in our minds. Even Curry was saying something about her husband thinning. Would you like to say that, to tell us the story of the thinning of your husband and how it didn't work for you between his hairline and the crown area?
Yeah, absolutely. So my husband, he has hair thinning on the back of his head, and also to what we typically call is the widow's peak. And I've been treating both of them equally as androgenetic alopecia and finding that both of them are responding differently. So for example, when I'm doing a treatment where I'm stimulating by tapping or just stimulating around the hairline, it'll get bright red and you can tell the circulation of the blood is flowing, versus on the back of the head when you do treatments, it's getting a little pink, but nothing compared to in the front. So I'm doing the same treatment on two different spots, but why is it not doing the same thing? Why is it not working? So should you not be having so I just found it very interesting, and Sergio really answered a lot of questions on how to address it, that there are two different types of hair loss or hair thinning, and maybe you could explain that, Sergio, because it just makes so much sense. So
I know that people are gonna, if you're watching, I know you're wondering, what are they talking about? Let me break it down for you a second, okay? What we are learning here with the Italian Society of Trichology basically is that whenever we look at alopecia, we need to define it not only by the pattern, but also by the thickness and the length of the follicle. We measure that information whenever we are doing a trichogram. A trichogram is a technique in which you are plucking a few strands of hair, and you are measuring the hair bulb, you're measuring the root sheet, and you are looking at the inside of the follicle, and you're seeing and you're able to measure, all kinds of things. Because of that, you are completing the image, the process, the consultation process, which usually dermatologists and trichologists alike, we use a dermoscope, a trichoscope onto the scalp. And by combining this information, we are getting a bigger picture of what's happening inside the scalp, inside the follicle. So because of this new information that we're adding to the process, we are able to redefine commonly causes of hair loss. For instance, androgenetic alopecia. Androgenetic alopecia has been always known to be the type of hair loss that causes a pattern on the top of the head, period, either for males or females. But as we are learning, we are seeing that people who are losing hair at the frontal area, that parietal frontal alopecia type of pattern, does not necessarily share the same type of pattern that is happening on the crown area, on the vertex area. So what researchers have found is that we are seeing miniaturization of the follicles on the vertex. So by miniaturization standards, basically the follicles shrinks. Okay, so as the follicle becomes shorter, the type of hair that is being developed is thinner and shorter. Okay, so far we already know that. But whenever we look at the hairs at the front, the frontal parietal frontal area, we are seeing that the follicle the length of the follicle stays the same, but the hair becomes thinner. And on the outside, we are only seeing a thinning effect. And so by seeing the thickness of the hair being reduced, we thought of that maybe was the same thing was happening on the vertex, and not comparing the length of the follicle, which was shortened on the back, but on the front was still longer. And that made a lot of scientists wonder what's happening, what we are seeing similar symptoms, but at the same time, when we look at the base of the follicle, it's different. So is it the same type of hair loss? Is it? Isn't it? And what they have found is that there are certain areas on the scalp in which we are more prone, more susceptible to some types of hormones. For instance, we will start seeing on the vertex a more prone area, more susceptible to DHT, dihydrotestosterone, while on the parietal frontal area is more susceptible to testosterone. And you will say, but isn't DHT same as testosterone? No, it's not the same. The way they act is different. And Bisan, you might want to explain the difference between those two, please.
Yes. Yes. So basically, the testosterone is the main male hormone in our bodies, males and females, in different percentages, of course. The DHT is dihydrotestosterone. It's actually 3% out of this testosterone. A male used it at puberty only, and then it stays in your body, floating in the bloodstream. And they affect the hair follicles on the crown, apparently, more. You know what? It just clicked in my head right now. The research that minoxidil did, Rogaine, the minoxidil did, they always say it just works on the crown. And when we ask why it does work on the crown, they said only because we had our studies, our case studies was on the crown. We never studied it on the hairline. So I think there was the missing link. Or they didn't.
I believe they knew by then. They knew
exactly
the difference.
Exactly.
And it was not properly explained, maybe.
But exactly.
The research, showed that minoxidil works better on the vertex than any other part of the scalp. So,
what you just said is exactly, I think, what happened, because in any research meta-analysis studies, when the subjects that don't work, the cases doesn't work on the hairline, they will take it away to not mess up with their numbers and their charts. Sorry, Rogaine. I'm just saying that from my head. I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, that type of analysis is not far off, Biz, because that's what happens many times. As researchers, they want to keep the data more controlled, and sometimes,
And they didn't lie. They said it worked on the crown only. They said that. They didn't lie. It's not like they lied on us or anything. But we said because what we understand of androgenetic alopecia, we said if it's going to work on the crown, it's going to work on the hairline too. So go ahead and use it on the hairline. And as Carrie said, on the hairline, it starts to irritate. And that makes perfect sense, because the receptors on the hairline are different from the receptors on the crown. So the testosterone, just let me say that again, the testosterone, the big percentage of it is apparently in the hairline. I don't like what Sergio has learned. The DHT is not, it's just 3% concentration from the main testosterone. That's the difference.
Yeah. For those of you guys, I know this is very technical. I know this is very technical, so let me water down a little bit, the information. So our scalp will produce these hormones, and of course our scalp is prone, more susceptible, more sensitive to some hormones according to different areas. For instance, we have learned that the vertex area is more susceptible to DHT, the hydrotestosterone, which, as Bisan explained, is a mixture between testosterone and 5-alpha reductase, an enzyme. And when they combine together, they form the DHT complex. Now, on the frontal area, parental frontal area is more susceptible, more sensitive to testosterone. So one of the things that researchers have found is that as more testosterone is accumulated into that area, then less estrogen is in it. So they have been describing this as an estrogen deficient type of hair loss, in which by adding a topical estrogen, they are helping people who have frontal hair loss, which is amazing. And of course, there are many frontal types of hair loss, because we have people who are experiencing frontal hair loss because of deficiencies in vitamin D, because of deficiencies in iron, because of hair pulling, traction alopecia, frontal fibrosis, which can be happening because of lichen planopilaris and many other stuffs, which, by the way, guys, lichen planopilaris is linked to a type of herpes.
Ah, it makes sense because it's inflammation.
Yes,
It
they
looks
will
like
give positive to herpes type 7, I believe is the number. I will give you the right data. But as I'm remembering from my class, it is related to type of herpes. So that's what
if it's
causes is
contagious.
that immune imbalance. But again, this is a bunch of new information that we are sharing with you guys. The thing is that trichology is yet to see their better days, their best days, and we are in the front. On the front of it, we're in front of it. We are on this. We are the edge sword right now. We are the sword of the edge of the sword right now, guys, and we're breaking through. We're breaking through with this type of information.
This is incredible. I'm like writing notes like crazy right now. I'm like,
I was wondering, guys, when Sergio was talking about all this new redefining the terms, I was thinking about, trichology started a long time ago, the beginning of the century, right? When the science started to evolve. But like if we look back at the whole century, our food changed, our nutrient intake changed, our physical activities changes, our environment changes. So and we as human beings, we adapt to these changes. So I think generation after generation, it just makes sense in my head, like our physiology is changing. So the kind of hair loss or the causes of hair loss will be changing, right, guys? Or I'm just imagining that in my head.
No, that's the thing, as we are learning and evolving, if we may, because the thing is that for centuries we have been seeing types of hair loss. We have been describing different types of hair loss. Which by the way, did you guys know that Pharaoh Ramses II had the first trichologist in the world?
No,
he was experiencing he was experiencing alopecia areata, and it was recorded, and the doctor who was attending and treating him was recognized as the first trichologist in the world back in that ancient time. So
the word trichology was known.
I mean, not that it was known. The function that he was performing at that moment was the function of a trichologist, although it was the pharaoh's physician. But the word trichology actually has been used since the 1897, something like that, since the first school of trichology was developed. But the thing is that,
in Greece, I read somewhere. I don't know if that is correct.
The what?
In Greece, the first school, and because that's why tricho is a Greek word.
Yeah, it's a Greek word. Yeah. The thing is, ever since the word trichology was formally introduced, has been developing, and so we see that as conditions arise and become more popular, and more people are watching the same thing, and it's important that we notice what's happening, and we notice the little details, because many times we will see things that look alike and yet they're different. And that's the most important thing here for all of us who are in the trichology business. We need to learn how to identify those things that look alike and yet at the same time has differences. So by combining more information, more techniques that would allow us to get more information, it will help us define properly what we are seeing and then treat it properly. Like Carrie, we were talking backstage, we were talking about the cell well-being equipment that we use for our epigenetic test. I mean, it is something that it's bringing us more information. So let me ask you, as a trichologist, did this tool help you in your practice?
Absolutely. Yeah. It pinpoints things. You're absolutely. Tell me from the inside what's going on.
And that's the whole idea, as we gather more information, the more information we have, then we are able to actually be better at, identifying what's happening, and thus gathering this information helped us in the process of treatments, new treatment plans. And of course, maybe using the treatment plans that we already have been using, but be more specific. For instance, we were talking about the idea of using minoxidil, finasteride for all types of hair loss that were female pattern or male pattern. That word, female pattern, male pattern, has been used to describe androgenetic alopecia, and it only describes where it's happening, where the hair loss is happening. It's not a diagnosis, it's just a description. It's a description. And as long as it is a description and not a diagnosis, there's room for error. There's room for looking for more information until we define what's happening. Very interesting. I met Dr. Andrea Marliani, is the founder of this organization in Italy, where right now he has over 500 dermatologists working with him. He's a dermatologist, he's an endocrinologist, and he's also a trichologist, which is a very potent combination. I mean, it blew my head away. I mean, someone that prepared to be involved, to be so connected into the trichology world is something amazing. And what he has been teaching us is that, for instance, it's not the same to say telogen effluvium than to say effluvium telogen.
What? Say that again?
It's not the same telogen effluvium to effluvium telogen.
What's the difference?
The difference is one describes how the hair is falling, and the other one is a diagnosis.
So effluvium telogen is the diagnosis?
Effluvium telogen is the diagnosis, and telogen effluvium is the description. You're right. I had to look at my notes to make sure.
So we as psychologists, we should stay with the description, but
exactly. We are describing what we are seeing. We're describing a form of hair loss, and as we are investigating, as we are pulling out more tools to get more information, we are helping define this type of hair loss and finally get into a diagnosis area. Okay, we as trichologists, we may not be able to diagnose unless we are doctors. And for those who are doctors, we use doctors into our practice. We share information so that we can get finally a diagnosis. And as we get a diagnosis, we treat it properly. So the thing is that as we, in the trichology process, in the trichology examination process, we gather more information. It is better for the customer. So for you guys who are watching, if you are a customer, if you are suffering from hair loss, what do you want from a trichologist? You want someone who is able to pull out different resources to get the best reading ever for what's happening to your scalp. Okay. So what we are saying is that a microscope reading is better than no microscope reading. But if someone is using a scope and is using a polarized microscope and is using, for instance, the cell well-being machine, and is using a pH meter, and is using a sebum meter, and is using, I mean, there are many tools out there that we use to measure information and to gather more information. Is using a trichogram. It is, I mean, the more studies we are able to compile into an examination process, the more information we have, the better the outcome will be for the patient, because we are able to gather more information. And that's the thing, guys. So as a customer, what can you expect from a trichologist? Well, first of all, someone who is knowledgeable into the hair, someone who will examine your scalp, your hair, and will get you information on what's happening. Is that the final information? No, because as we progress into the process, as we start treatments, as we start follow-up consultations, we get more information. And just like your regular doctors, I mean, maybe on the first consultation, your doctor will say, well, you have, for instance, they say you have COVID, or you have symptoms related to COVID. But it's not until you get the test that it will confirm that information. Same thing happens with trichologists. And, it's incredible how many customers, when they go to a process of evaluation, they're so desperate and they will get frustrated if they don't get an answer the first time. And I get it. I mean, you have been frustrated for many years. You've been dealing with so many bad stuff in the past that you want answers right now. And the fact of the matter is that it is through those proper evaluation processes that we finally see what's happening, and we are able to basically narrow down the process, and the treatment plan will be more specific as time goes by. And that's the type of experience that we should have in a trichologist business. That's the type of experience that you should get with a trichologist. Bisan, you were going to mention something? I see you nodding.
No, I'm just saying that everything you're saying is perfect. It's just exactly. I'm nodding. Yes, yes, yes.
Something you want to add, Carrie?
No, this is brilliant. I love the direction trichology is going. I love the collaboration. I love their direction. And it's true, this whole trichology, like doing hair assessments. I live in Canada. Trichology is not well known at all. And the people that I do see are from other parts of the world seeking me out because they know already a trichologist is going to give them the answers that they need. And a lot of times I'll have clients from here and go to a dermatologist or a doctor and get a hair loss diagnosis. And I'm like, okay, well, what is it? And nobody's actually finding and pinpointing and literally going to every, I see like a target, like a dartboard, hitting the target, going down.
Yes.
And you have your outside of the target, and you find out, oh yeah, it's hair loss. I can't even see. And then we as trichologists are literally pinpointing it. And the more knowledgeable we are and the more tools we have to really rule out everything is going to give you a better solution for a treatment or for options that are available for what you're suffering from versus, just being a one-size-fits-all world. And that's what it is, I feel like, with hair loss, especially where I'm at. It's a one-size-fits-all world. Here, you have alopecia. Let's give you a treatment. And they don't even check and go deeper and be like, well, why is it happening? How, pH, is it this, is it that? So I love the direction this is going. I have a few pages of notes here. I'm just excited. I'm really excited to see this, and it's finally becoming available.
Yes. Trichology is like what's happening with functional medicine these days. Because the Western medicine, unfortunately, it was ruled by the healthcare insurances and the doctor, the dermatologist. Like, really, I'm not like, when you go to a dermatologist, they have 5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes to see you. They look, they have to apply what the insurance policies they are under. So they have 2 minutes to look at whatever on your skin is and get going. So they can't have the time to sit down with you and give you a personalized treatment. Even if they know, they just can't. Trichologists, on the other hand, like functional medicine doctor, they sit down with you and try to personalize your condition. Because as what Sergio was saying, even the definition of the hair loss, like alopecias, different kind of alopecias, is changing. And why it's changing, it just makes so much sense in my head, because epigenetic, because lifestyles is changing, because our food is changing, because everything is getting different, it's becoming different. And we live in a world right now that personalized treatment is the best treatment that have been proven to reverse diabetes, to reverse lupus, to reverse these complex chronic conditions. And these complex chronic conditions did not happen before because the lifestyle was different, the food was different. These chronic conditions happened after the industrial food revolution that happened with us. Same exact thing. We always say in trichology, what happens inside you goes first thing, your hair will suffer, right? We have been saying that forever. It just makes perfect sense. If where we're eating is different, so the treatment has to be different, so the definition has to be a little bit altered. It's just perfect. I am loving what's happening.
No, I love it. It's one thing I'm always, as a trichologist, I'm always investigating everything, just like you've said, Sergio, earlier, but I'm also investigating because I specialize in epigenetics. I'm looking even at ancestors, like where are their predispositions. I'm in Canada, I'm mixed race, so a lot of that comes into play too, and like food, where we're eating, like there's so many factors when it comes to hair loss and what you're predisposed to, all of that. And now, my mind is so excited right now to see the direction this is going to be going. And I really hope this is going to pioneer a lot of new, it's going to be a new evolution of trichologists, I feel, with what you're talking about that's coming forward, Sergio. Yeah, I'm kidding.
We are so lucky to have you.
We're lucky to have all of us. That's the thing, guys. If you're watching this show, please give us a like. Share our videos, and of course subscribe. That's the main thing right now. If you're liking the content, please do that. We want to reach 1,000. We want to reach 1,000 subscribers, and as soon as we have that, guys, we just want to start doing lives for you. So please subscribe, and of course hit the like button. Very important. And of course, if you have questions, please write down in your comments on the comment section. We are constantly answering your questions, literally. So please write to us and let us know what it is important to you as someone who is experiencing hair loss, or someone who cares about someone who is experiencing hair loss. We want to know all of those things. So one of the things that I wanted to comment also was about hormonal differences and how they play a role in, for instance, how our hair grows. For instance, let me tell you, do women get longer hair than men? That's a question for you guys. Do women get longer hair than men genetically?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't. I don't think so at all. Because based on no.
What is it?
I think we could grow it equally.
No, we cannot. No, it doesn't make sense. Because, okay, the difference between estrogen and testosterone.
Here we go.
Right? It cannot be. So I would say women will grow it more.
But I also, we
see men with long hair.
Yeah, I see.
I'm not saying they can,
yes,
but not at the same rate as women. Because women, they are estrogen, like more estrogen in their bodies.
Yeah.
But doesn't men's hair grow faster? Like,
I don't know
my husband, he could shave in the morning, and by lunchtime he has stubble again.
Yeah.
So
I don't know why.
Yes. And it's all right, because it's all about the hormones and how they play a role on each part of our skin. For instance, the reason why men, we have so much beard, again, DHT. This is DHT.
Yes,
this is DHT. The reason why we have hair in the body in places, very weird places, is because of DHT.
Yes, so. DHT is responsible for the puberty secondary sex characteristics, which is the voice, the beard, the hair on the body.
Exactly. And so the thing is that statistically speaking, men tend to have shorter hair than women, and thus it falls under the assumption, or more than the assumption, the observation that the hair on women grow longer for more period of time. For instance, women's hair tend to grow for about they have an anagen phase for about 5 years, where in males the average is about 3 years. So how much hair can you grow in that amount of time? So yes, so that's why you will see that women's hair tends to be longer than in males. as the anagen phase is longer in women than in males. So this actually brings you to the subject of right now we're seeing a tendency, a new tendency with transgenderism. And it brings out a lot of new questions because we see males changing to female, female changing to male. And as they take these hormones to change to sex change, we start seeing changes on the hair. As women start taking testosterone, they start losing the hair, right in the vertex. As males start taking estrogen hormones, they start regaining more hair, getting less facial hair, getting hair longer. So this new changes in our society are actually helping us understanding many things that we knew in the past, but now we are able to affirm this information more nowadays. What you guys think about that, guys?
Wow.
Welcome to the new hair, to the new world.
Welcome to the new world.
Get hair smart.
This is why you guys watch the Hair Wire, guys. This is why you guys watch the Hair Wire, to get hair smart. That's it.
Wow.
I mean,
wow.
hormone plays a big role on how our hair grows and how long does it grow. And the how long does it grow is because of the anagen phase and how hormones play a role in elevating that anagen phase.
And that's why women start hair thinning after menopause, because the hormone goes down, all the hormones goes down,
exactly,
even though they do not have genetic predisposition for hair loss.
Exactly.
And that's why men will lose their hair only if start at 20 or 18, only if they have predisposition in their genes. Duh. Yep. Why would you think about it that way?
That's the thing, it's the information has been there for forever, but as we are connecting the dots, we are starting seeing the bigger picture for what it is, and we are able now to help more people because of it. So it is an exciting time here in trichology, guys. It is a very exciting time, I'll tell you right now. So I have hundreds of notes that I want to share with you guys, but hey, time is little. So we're going to leave some of it for next time. But today, guys, what I want to leave you is something very important. And that is we are getting to a point where we are able to better treat hair loss. That's where we are at right now. If you have been frustrated in the past, if you tried minoxidil, if you tried, I don't know how many products out there on the market, and you have the results are not what you have been expecting. Maybe someone else told you, maybe someone told you, that you will not be able to regain your hair, and maybe you can. Try again. More information, more analysis, more science is being out there, and of course, better results we're able to achieve right now that we were 20 years ago. I've been doing this for 24 years now. I've been doing this for 24 years now. So let me tell you, for the past 24 years, I've been seeing how we are able to get more hair than what we used to back in the days. And believe me, I get many of my clients from the past, they are coming back again and say, Sergio, what's new? I want to try the new stuff. And they understand, because as science grows, our knowledge is grow. And of course, that means better treatment plans for them. So and
the technology, the toys you have in your clinic, they're amazing.
Specifically when I have clients that they last saw me about 10 15 years ago, Sergio, everything has changed. Yes, many things have changed, and that's exciting. And of course, I wish I knew then what I know now, but I'm glad that I know it today, and that I know that tomorrow, and 20 years, 25 years from now, we're going to be talking about differently about what we're talking about today. Why? Because we are connecting the information. We're getting more information, and we're helping people get better. And that's the main thing, guys. So if you're suffering from hair loss, you need to find a good trichologist. Contact us. We have Kerry Jarrett in Canada. We got Bisan Dips in Florida. We got Sergio Cardona in Puerto Rico. So get in contact with us and we can help you out. We all of us, we do online consultations. So we are able to provide with services wherever you are, whenever you are in the world. We're able to help you guys. This is what the Hairwire connection is all about. Okay. Getting you the right help with the right people, with the right experts. So any things you guys want to add, please?
Yes, I want to add one thing. I like what you said. You said the hair wire connection. And this is very important because, as we said, hair treatments are very personalized and customized. And nobody, one person knows everything. No, that doesn't exist. So that's why we are trying to build a community of expertise where everybody has his own niche, and we all collaborate together to give you the best solution for your hair loss condition or your scalp condition. So this is what's exactly we're trying to do here. We're trying to get you hair smart, and most importantly, we're trying to build a community where all of us we are in one boat. We are here all to help each other and to grow together and to find solutions together. Get hair smart.
Get hair smart, guys. Get hair smart. By the way, Carrie Jerry, she speaks French. I speak Spanish. Bisan speaks Arabic. So if you in the international community, if you need help, we're here for you guys. All right. So anything, guys, you want to add before we go? We good?
No, I love this. We're here for you guys on your hair growth journey. So let's end this call because I think we need to plan another one.
Oh, yes, we do. So, guys, thank you for tuning in today. We'd love to see you next time. Please, again, hit the like button. Subscribe. Very important, subscribe. Let's help us reach 1,000 subscribers so we can start doing live shows for you guys. And, of course, write on the comments. Share our videos. And, hey, get hair smart with the Hair Wire. God bless you guys. See you next time.
See you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.